name's Nathaniel the narrator, and I'm excited to be here in deepest, darkest Peru. I was inspired to come here by a wonderful little bear that I met by the name of Paddington. And he told me lots of stories. I have one of them here in my journal. Would you like to hear it? You would? Fantastic! And we can play some games along the way. Okay, are you ready? Let's get settled down, ready for the story. So sit down, boys and girls, and I'm going to sit here over on this lovely spot in the forest. Paddington at the tower. One of the nicest things about being a bear and living with the Brown family was that most days Paddington was able to share his Elevenses with Mr. Gruber. So, when he arrived at the baker's one morning and met his best friend coming out, he could hardly believe his eyes. Such a thing had never happened before. Now, to get into the story, shall we go for a walk to the town and look for Mr. Gruber? We shall. Fantastic. Up we get then, everybody. And if I say, on the march, we're going to march along the road, heading towards the town. Are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? You are? Fantastic. Let's go. On the march. Marching off to town. Marching off to town. Here we go, there we go. Marching off to town. And stop there. Okay, now, there are many dangers on the way to the baker's. There's traffic, there's corners, there's bikes and cars and buses and everything in London. So, we have to make sure we are safe. So if I say freeze, I want you to freeze exactly where you are to make sure you stay away from the danger. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Fantastic. On the march we go, walking off to town. On the march we go, ba-la-ba-dee-ba-ba-dee-bo. Freeze! Not bad. I think you can freeze better than that though. Let's get ready to go again. 1, 2, 3, on the march. On the march we go, marching all around, everywhere we go, and freeze! Oh, fantastic work, everybody. Let's try it one more time. 3, 2, 1, on the march we go, marching all around, everywhere we go, and freeze! Well done, everybody at home. Now we're going for 11s, so I think it would be fantastic if we bake a cake for Mr. Gruber. Would you like to do that, boys and girls? You would? Okay, so when I say baking the cake, we're going to grab our big wooden spoon and we're going to stir it this way and stir it that way until we get the cake mixture just right. Shall we give it a go? Okay, everybody, baking the cake. Stir in this way. Stir in that way. Stir in this way. Stir in that way. And freeze. And marching on we go. Everywhere we go. All around the town we go. And freeze. Fantastic. And baking the cake. Stir in this way. Stir in that way. Stir in this way. Stir in that way. And freeze. Oh, fantastic, everybody. Now, we're nearly there. It's so exciting. So, if I say, there's Mr. Gruber, I want you to wave and say, hello, Mr. Gruber. Do you think we can do that? Let's try it together. There's Mr. Gruber. Hello, Mr. Gruber. Oh, fantastic. Now, let's put it all together. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. On the march we go, walking round the town, everywhere we go. And freeze. Not bad. 3, 2, 1. Marching round the town, everywhere we go, marching round the town, and freeze. And baking the cake. Stir in this way. Stir in that way. Stir in this way. Stir in that way. And there's Mr. Gruber. Hello, Mr. Gruber. Fantastic, boys and girls. I think you've earned yourself a rest. Let's sit down and see what happens next in the story. Okay. Oh, okay, so. Such a thing had never happened before. Remember, Mr. Gruber was coming out of the shop. I've closed the shop for the day, explained Mr. Gruber. It's a long time since we had one of our outings. Jonathan and Judy might like to come along too. It will be their last chance before they go back to school. Paddington needed no second bidding, and he rushed back home to number 32 Windsor Garden as fast as his legs would carry him. The Browns' housekeeper, Mrs. Bird, was as excited as anyone, and they ended up making so many sandwiches, Paddington had a job closing the lid of his suitcase. Birds always fall on their feet, she said. Okay, if we're going to go on a picnic, we should probably have some sandwiches too. So, whether you're going to pretend with me and do the actions, or if you've got mums and dads around, you could make some real sandwiches for the journey. Okay, let's get down onto our blanket. I've got a nice clean knife ready to go. I don't think you should be using a knife, so grab mum and dad for this one, or pretend, and when we do our sawing, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, just like this. Are you ready? Okay, let's cut the bread. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we've got one piece of bread. Ready? But how many pieces of bread do we need for a sandwich? That's right, we need 2. Let's try it one more time. Okay, remember 1, 2, 3, but only use a knife with mum and dad with you. Are you ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, and there's our second piece of bread. Now, let's get that lovely tasty marmalade. Ooh, tangy and orangey, just as Paddington likes it. And we're going to get it nice and thick onto the bread. Spread it around. Spread it around. Oh, put the second piece of bread on top. And remember to close up the marmalade so it's good for later on. I'm going to wrap mine up in a tea towel so that it stays nice and fresh and hide it in my backpack. Does anyone know where Paddington keeps his secret sandwich? Yes, that's right, he keeps it under his hat. I haven't got space under my hat. I'm going to put it in my bag, and then we can get on with the next part of the story. So, pack up your sandwiches, boys and girls, and let's get set down and see what happens next. Okay, so, here we go. Right, where do you think we are going? Whispered Judy. You will find out soon enough, was all that Mr. Gruber would say. Wait and see. It was a long journey, right across London, but suddenly they turned a corner and came to a stop. Right across London, on a long journey, I know what we could do. We could go riding on the bus. Are you ready? I'm going to drive the bus, and you can come with me. I'm going to use my special ball here to help me along the way. So, if I say we're at a red traffic light by shouting, red light, I want you to stop like this, either with your foot on the ball or just nice and straight in your room if you don't have a ball with you. If I say amber light, that's the orange one, we're going to do this, like marching on the ball. And if I say green light, we can go and we're going to keep our ball nice and close as we drive the bus around London. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Okay. Red light. Amber light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And green light. Off we go. Round, 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 round. and red light. Oh, fantastic work, everybody. Now, sometimes it might start to rain. If it rains, we're going to get our windscreen wipers out like this, and we're going to put our feet around the ball like this. So, we're going to go wipe, 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 wipe. Do you think you can do that, boys and girls? Let's try it together then. Windscreen wipers. Wipe, 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 wipe. Red light. Amber light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and off we go again. Green light. Around the town we go, around the town we go. Bibbidi bobbidi bo. And red light. And windscreen wipers. Wipe, 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 wipe. Oh look, it's the Tower of London. Everybody give a bow to the Queen and a wave. Fantastic. I think we're nearly where we need to be. So, let's get back to the story and see what happens next. Bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Okay. Oh. So, it was a long journey right across London. But suddenly they turned a corner and came to a stop. It's the Tower of London! Chorused Jonathan and Judy excitedly. While Mr. Gruber went to collect the tickets to go in, Paddington had a closer look. I've never seen anything quite so big, he said to the man at the security checkout. And I've never seen so many marmalade sandwiches, said the man, looking into his suitcase. He was about to feel underneath them, but thought better of it. Do you know what? Paddington saw a very big tower. Do you think we can make a very big tower? Okay, what I would like you to do is see if you can find any boxes from around your house or room. I've got some empty cereal boxes here. And let's see if we can make a tower together. Okay, so back down on the blanket. Let's carefully fold away the bread and the knife. And let's make a space for our tower. It needs to be nice and flat. I'm going to start with a big box here. Okay, when I say go, I want you to see if you can make a tower along with me, as big and tall as you can, out of the boxes. Hopefully it won't fall over. Are you ready? You are. Fantastic. 3, 2, 1, off you go. Okay, so one there. Oh, one there. Oh, nice big one there. Oh, and I think these two could go together. Oh, oh no, it fell over. Let's start again and see if we can make a better tower. How did yours go at home? Yours fell over too. Oh, well done to those of you who managed to keep their tower up nice and straight. This time, I'm going to see if I can make mine really tall by putting them end on end like this. Are you ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. 1. Oh, I think this one. 2. Oh, look at that. That's really tall. I'm very impressed. Okay. 3. Do you think it's going to stay? Oh, I don't think it will. There you go. 3. And the one at the bottom. Okay. Oh, no! Oh, it fell down. I'm going to have one last try of making a really good tower. Are you ready to do it with me? Okay, let's try. Let's make a solid base, first of all. And then we'll try and have our tower on top. One sideways. Oh, wow, look at that, everybody. It stayed. Have to be very careful to get it to balance. Because if you tip it too far one way, the weight will make the whole tower fall over. Didn't those builders in the royal family do so well to keep a tower up for so long? It's been there for hundreds of years. So, can I get the last box on? Do you think it's going to stay? Do you think it's going to stay? no, there it goes. Well done, everybody at home. Give yourself a huge round of applause. And let's put those boxes to the side and get ready for the next part of the story. I'm going to do it from here, I think. Okay, so, where were we? Oh yes, that man didn't find my secret compartment, called Paddington as he hurried after the others. Shh, hissed Judy. She pointed to a man in a dark blue uniform, standing nearby. That's a yeoman of the guard. They're called Beefeaters, and they keep a lookout for anything suspicious. Oh, I hope you didn't hear what I said, exclaimed Paddington, addressing the Beefeater. No, said the man, I can't say that I did. Paddington was most relieved. He raised his hat politely, and as he did so, something fell out and landed on the man's highly polished boots. It's a marmalade sandwich, he explained. I couldn't get them all in my suitcase. You can have it if you like. I expect it will make a change from beef. A marmalade sandwich, repeated the human. He gazed down on his boots, but by the time he looked up, Paddington had disappeared. That was a narrow squeak, said Jonathan, as Paddington joined the others. Judy pointed towards a large black bird. If you ask me, that raven has got his eye on your sandwich too. Well, shall we go on a little tour with the ravens and the children? Okay, we're going to play a game called Paddington Says. Are you ready? Okay, jump up with me. Now, if Paddington says we're going to do something, you need to come with Paddington. But if I don't say Paddington Says, make sure you stay still. Otherwise, you're out of the game. We'll give you 3 chances, though, because we want everyone to enjoy the game. So if I was to say, Paddington says walking around, we would all walk around. But if I just said, everybody stop, we wouldn't stop, because Paddington didn't say so. Do you understand the game? Oh, brilliant. Let's play together. Paddington says, exploring the Tower of London. Have a look around. Paddington says, stop. Paddington says, marching on the spot, like one of the yeomen of the guard. Everybody stop. No, Paddington didn't say stop. Well done to those of you who kept marching. Paddington says, marching around. Paddington says, freeze. Paddington says, salute the guards. And you say, yes, sir. Shall we try it? Paddington says, salute the guards. Yes, sir. Paddington says, marching around. Everybody climb up the stairs. Paddington says, freeze. Oh, well done to you, those of you who didn't climb up the stairs, because Paddington didn't say so. But if Paddington says climb up the stairs, we're going to climb up like this. I'm climbing, I'm climbing, I'm climbing up the stairs. Do you think you can do that, everybody? Okay, let's put it all together. Paddington says, jump. Paddington says, arms out wide. Paddington says, marching around the tower. Well done, everybody. Everybody stop. Oh, you didn't stop. Well done, boys and girls. Paddington says, salute the guards. Yes, sir. Paddington says, climb the stairs of the tower. I'm climbing, I'm climbing, I'm climbing up the stairs. I'm climbing, I'm climbing, I'm climbing up the stairs. Paddington says, stop. Paddington says, let's get back to the story. Are you ready? Fantastic. Let's find our pace back on the log. Okay, so, they've been around the tower, and Judy spotted something, didn't she? Let's find out what happens next. Okay. That was a narrow squeak, said Jonathan, as Paddington joined the others. Judy pointing towards a large black bird. If you ask me, that raven has got his eye on your sandwich too. Perhaps, said Mr. Gruber hastily. We should visit the crown jewels. Paddington thought it was a good idea until he saw the queue going in. I shall never see over those heads, he said. Don't worry, Mr. Brown, said Mr. Gruber. Follow me. And he led them onto a moving walkway where they had a good view of all the exhibits as they glided past them. Paddington was most impressed. They've thought of everything at the tower, he said. I've never been on a moving platform before, said Paddington as they reached the end of it. I wouldn't mind going around again. I don't think we would be very popular if we did that, said Mr. Gruber. He pointed to another display case instead. That's the Imperial Crown of India. It has over 6,000 diamonds, but the Queen never uses it. I'm not surprised, says Paddington. There's nowhere to keep her sandwiches. She ought to have a hat like mine. The next exhibit was a huge golden bowl, the size of a small bathtub. That was for holding wine, explained Mr. Gruber. I don't suppose you had anything like that in darkest Peru. We had a really big bath at the home for the retired bears, said Paddington. Except it wasn't made of gold, and there was a big queue for it on Friday nights. He licked his lips. They made cocoa in it the rest of the week. Okay, I think we've got a little bit further to go on our walk around the tower before we can have our Elevenses. So let's go and carry on our Paddington Says game near the crown jewels. Are you ready? Okay. Paddington says, stand up straight. Paddington says, walking towards the crown jewels. Well done, tiptoeing lightly so we don't disturb anyone. Okay. Paddington says, try on the Queen's crown. Wow. Do, 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 do. Isn't that brilliant? Paddington says, run away from the ravens. Run away from the ravens. They're chasing us everywhere we go. Run away. Run away. Faster. Faster. Paddington says, freeze. Oh, fantastic job, everybody. I think it might be time to see what happens next and maybe even have our Elevenses. Okay, so, let's see what happens next. Mr. Gruber took the hint. I think it's time for our Elevenses, he said. That's funny, said Jonathan, as they made their way outside. There are 3 ravens now. Paddington eyed the birds uneasily as they waddled towards him. Look, said Judy, pointing straight ahead. The ravens' tea house. We must be near where they live. I wonder if they have a bear's tea house, said Paddington. I doubt it, said Mr. Gruber. In the old days, there were lots of wild animals in the tower. Lions and tigers and such like, but there aren't any more. They all went to Regent's Park Zoo. I think I'll just have a small lemonade, if I may, Mr. Gruber, said Paddington. They might have left a lion behind my mistake. By now, 2 more ravens had joined the others, making 5 in all. They must be after something, said Mr. Gruber. I wonder what it could possibly be. While he was talking, a 6th raven landed. I think he's after your suitcase, Paddington, warned Jonathan. Paddington gave the bird a hard stare, and he was about to shoo it away when he heard a familiar voice. There he is, said the Beefeater, addressing a grey-haired gentleman. I know him anywhere. Blue duffel coat, red hat, suitcase. Oh dear, said Judy, as the man came towards their table. What now? Paddington felt his knees turn to jelly. But the grey-haired gentleman was all smiles. I didn't know ravens like marmalade, he said. The Tower of London is famous for its ravens, but there is a legend that says if they ever fly away, it will fall down. So anything which stops that happening is most welcome. I've instructed to present you with a special ticket that will enable you to visit us from now on whenever you like, free of charge. You will need proof of identity, warned the Beefeater. Otherwise you won't be allowed in. I think the suitcase will do the trick, said the man. There can't be many people who carry a case full of marmalade sandwiches round with them. I'm sure Mrs. Bird could arrange that, said Mr. Gruber. What do you think, Mr. Brown? I think, said Paddington, I had better start work straight away. It's been such a lovely day out. I must make sure the tower doesn't fall down before we come again. Caw, caw, said the raven. Caw, caw. Okay, I think we've got near the end of the story. I think it's time to have our Elevenses. So, let's unpack our sandwiches and maybe we can have ourselves a drink. I brought with me my teapot and some special hot chocolate. So, I'm going to put some into my teapot like this. One, two, and I'm going to carefully pour in some water, just like this. And I'm going to give it a little stir around in the pot to make sure it's nice and lovely. And then I can put the top on, pour it into the cup, have my lovely cocoa and my sandwiches. Oh, I hope you've got something nice at home to have. I'm going to unwrap my sandwiches and we can have a lovely picnic. Oh, I hope you've had a lovely time with Paddington. I've certainly enjoyed sharing it with you. I hope you enjoy your marmalade sandwiches and your Elevenses as well. Lovely. Here's to you and to Paddington. So, thank you so much for joining me on our journey with Paddington at the tower. I hope you've had a lovely time and we'd love to see you again for another adventure soon. Thank you and please come back. Bye for now, everybody. Bye-bye.